When it comes to football development, the players union have a role to play also by adding their own spice to it. Well, right now, welcome you on the show, 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adini Ajishafe. We'll be starting with this story that has to do with the players union. That has to do, we call them Professional Football Association of Nigeria. They actually announced 10-man reconciliation committee for a while now. We've seen issues that have to do with leadership position, having a breakaway team, another one. But right now, they are trying to settle it. And NFF also set up a reconciliation committee that will be seeing to that. The Deputy Governor of Edo State, Philip Shuaibu, is actually the chairman of that committee set up for there. But for this one, Professional Football Association of Nigeria Reconciliation Committee Chairman Clement Temile, that's the chairman there. Brown Ogbeifun, Emmanuel Babayaro is the secretary. Edema Fuludu, Mutiwa Depoju, Magaji Abdul Boss. You have Joshua Kato. You have Ikechukwu Ewezo. And you have a lady there, Mrs. Rotimi Michael. You have Victor Eseji. There are the 10 that have been set up to see into that reconciliation committee to work in tandem with the NFL reconciliation committee set up to also see how they can settle all the squabbles coming up from Nigerian football.
I think it's a good one. It's a very good one because if we have a united union, that their purpose is not to serve themselves or serve their pocket, but to better the game of football in this country. A lot of things will be a lot of good things will be done, no doubt about that. But in a situation whereby we have people that they are always thinking about themselves, they are selfish in nature. Definitely, we're not going to get anywhere, and that has been more like a culture in this country, that most people in position of authority or in position of power, what they are interested in, it's what comes to them, their own personal benefits. They take themselves first before the country, and that we don't really need. And the people we have there, I think they have what it takes to really do it. If we have a united union, so it means that most of what the NPFL, what they are doing wrong, what most of the clubs are doing wrong, they can be able to come in. Just like you have the TUC, you have the NLC, you have the ASBFE, you have the Korean, you have all these union affiliates. The purpose is to be sure that their members have not been maltreated. In a situation where a player will be playing under the harsh condition in this country as a footballer, and you'll be owing him 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. Some of them will retire their benefits for years, you will not pay them. A team will win the NPFL for years, the state governors will not pay what they're supposed to pay them. I think this is the right time for all of them to think about the country, not themselves, because of the benefit of what we are going to get. What are you going to get? It's going to help us economically. I've said it and I'll say it again. Imagine if you have the way we are buying Chelsea, Man U, Liverpool jersey, we are buying Canopilla, 3SC, Shooting Star, we are buying it in this country. Anytime they are playing football, the stadium is always filled, even not up to capacity, if it is 50% capacity. Do you know the number of people that will be selling pure water? The number of people that will be selling all these retail goods? Do you know the employment? Do you know the money the government is going to get from this? So you should look at it as a business, as a way of helping the economy, not for politics purpose. So I think the union, they have a lot to do. That also they should try as much as possible to look at what are their powers as a union. Not only for them to reconcile, let them reconcile, have a one voice, united front.
They should know their value.
They should now know their value and the power they have as a union. Do we have the power if a club is owing their player 2, 3, 4 months? Do we have the right to picket them? Do we have the right to write to the NFF to change their management? These are the things that they should also look into, because without this, it's not going to work out fine. From the NFF statement that during this NPFL season, any form of hooliganism will not be entertained. Apart from the fine, 3 points will be deducted from
any club. Wanting.
That alone will make everybody to sit down. In fact, if a player should see a fan trying to forbid trouble, the player will be the one to go and make, come, don't do this to me. We don't want to go.
Because all our work, 3 points is
3 points is on. And that's what affected Canopillars. And they are paying for it now. So I think that is what the players union also should do after the reconciliation so that they will know that they have something to do. A very good one, a very good move. Like I said during our morning show, we're about getting it right. But we should not get derailed, because one good thing about us is we are very good when it comes to starting. But when we go to a stage, because we have some people in that NFF, they are like, the way you are looking at me, that's the way they are looking at all of them. That leave them now. They are all tabi. I have fire extinguisher. I'll put it on them and kill all their fire. We have people like that. So they shouldn't give it, to them. They shouldn't allow them to win over them. They should continue despite the frustration, the intimidation, or the setback. I believe we'll get it right.
Well, good one coming from a lot of players there. They never say die spirit from the players. Why they were playing even after they retired also should continue. But the fact that right now reconciliation committee has been set up to see into the affairs of reconciling all the warring factions in the world of football in Nigeria. Good one there. Professional Football Association of Nigeria trying to at least blow the ember of peace between themselves. We're talking about the MPFL, talking about all our professional footballers who actually play either in Europe or in Nigeria here, coming together as one. Now, that will take us to this particular style of football or sport in Nigeria. It's always very common when you see people that doesn't even know anything about sport being given an appointment or being given a role to play as an administrator, and at the end of the day, they could actually make other the mess of that particular position. Well, that's why an ex-footballer, Ikechukwu Okoronko, saying, well, separate politics from football. That's the next story we are looking at, from sport, rather, separate politics from sport. Exports to government, be it federal, state, or local government, separate politics from sport, because we need to put people that really know their onions when it comes to administrating sport or running sport in Nigeria. If you can get it right by putting the right people there at the end of affairs, and things will actually get better, not people who are just after their pocket to make money, and then they don't care about the athletes, and forgetting that without the athletes, they can never, ever be there as an administrator. That's the next topic we're looking at right now.
Yeah, I agree with him, and I also disagree with him. Okay, we have some football administrators that they were never a footballer, and they did very well. Some of the FIFA presidents that we had, they weren't a footballer, and they run the administration of football at that highest level very well. But what we need to look into is we should look into our own process in Nigeria in terms of governance. When we're talking about governance, it's not only about the federal government, the state government, the local government, even the football administration, they are government on their own. So we have people that, I mean, it's not a must for us to have ex-footballer to run. In fact, there's a danger in using an ex-footballer to run the football administration in this country. You know the reason why? They know the nooks and crannies of everything. They know the left and right. They know what to do to convince you. They know what to do to win over you. So we have people, what we need people that are not only intelligent, we need people that they have done something in terms of human management and development before in this country. You weren't a footballer. If they take you to that position, you'll do far better. And we have a lot of people outside there. We need people with business mind that will see football as a business. And they will treat it as same. It's not compulsory for you to be a footballer or not a footballer, but it comes with its own advantage because you know the pains you are going through. But if you are coming in as a footballer also, you know the pains you are going through. I recall vividly there was a conversation during one of this pitch ownership between federal government and the likes of Dangote. And Sunday Dare, the Minister of Youth and Sports, he asked Aliko Dangote that why didn't you come and invest in the Nigerian domestic league instead of trying to buy Arsenal, as it was rumored then. And he said, I can only invest my money where there is process, where there is give and take. And that is exactly what we need to run football administration in this country. A process. If you do this, this will be your penalty. And there's no way of you going around it. Once we have that, anybody that have business mind can run the football. People that they see it as a pride, as I am right now, I don't know if they call me that, Olale Peters, come and serve as the NFF president or Minister of Youth and Sport, I can do it without collecting kobo because it is a pride for me, for my family, for people that knows me, that I've done something for my country. We don't see that in this country. We always look for an opportunity to take something into our pocket. And I'm very sure we have millions of people outside there that they are ready to serve this country selflessly. But the people we have are people with selfish ambition. So the issue of having a footballer to run the administration, I don't really agree with him, sincerely. And the truth of the matter is you cannot totally take politics away from football.
Sports.
Or from sports. You can't do that. It depends on how you use the politics to, okay, look at what happened during this Qatar World Cup. The African representative at the FIFA, the money they got, the bribe they took it to their pockets.
Why some were negotiating for development of their country? Not
even some. Let's mention his name, Sepp Blatter. He negotiated for his country. That is why they didn't find anything against him. What he did was, what he said was, the contract to build the stadium, you give it to my people. The defense, they want to buy some modern equipment for
like
artilleries, give it to my country. And they agreed. But in our own African representative, £5 million, £3 million, and they pay directly to their account. That is why most of them, those that were banned from playing football, from doing anything that has to do with sport, that is the difference between us and them, and that is what we need in this country. We need people that will use that politics to bring development to the country. Go to Sepp Blatter's country now and call him a thief and look at what people will tell you about him. They still value him because he has brought development to his country. He has done a lot for his country. So that is why you cannot totally take politics away from sport. But it depends on how you play your game. You play it smart or you play it with selfishness.
Yes.
So that's the issue. So you can't take politics away from sport. Look at your brother, Amaju Pinnick.
Is my brother? Is he also your brother?
No, he's your own brother. Because you're the only one.
I'm the mouthpiece.
You are his mouthpiece. Tell us what we've gained from Amaju Pinnick from the position he held at CAF and FIFA. Just tell me one.
Well, a lot.
Yes, I know a lot. Just one. I just didn't only one.
We're able to win some, at least, competition.
We won the competition on merit. I'm talking about the hosting rights. So we have a lot that we can benefit from all these things. That's the truth. That's why you see South Africa, they are where they are today. How do you think they hosted the World Cup in 2010? It's not about politics. It's not about Nelson Mandela. It's not about to honor him. That is what we are talking about. So we should use it and use it to benefit the country and the people positively.
What if he's afraid that, okay, I actually remember in 1999 when they did Nigeria 99 in Abuja, match was going on and I remember light went off. So maybe the guy is scared that, okay, I should bring...
I don't think that's the problem. Now talking about 1999, there was a place they built majorly for the sports activities during that period. They call that place what? Game Village.
Yes.
Now go and
but
check
we don't have maintenance culture.
Go and check it if it is Game Village or the reason why you don't have a maintenance culture is because the government, they are still holding on to this. Imagine if that Game Village was given to a private individual to manage and to be remitting something to the government with a caveat that anytime we are hosting the World Cup, this place we are still going to use it. What stopped the federal government from taking the national stadium, the Abuja stadium, and all the national stadium that we have in this country to a private individual to manage it as PPP? That what we need is when we are playing matches, you maintain it, and this is what you remit to the government on monthly basis, quarterly basis, and yearly basis.
Anytime you want to use it, we can.
Anytime you want to use it, we'll give you like 3-4 days notice or a month notice so that you can now you schedule your program. What stops us from doing that? If you do that, don't you think that the stadium will be far maintained than the way it is? The problem where we are talking about, we don't have maintenance culture. But the reason why the government is saying we don't have a maintenance culture is because they want to be involved in everything. They are the people that they give you a responsibility without authority. They'll give you a ram, they'll still be holding the rope. And the ram will say, man, and they will bring the ram close to you. So we don't really need that in this country. So what we need is to go into privatization of the Nigerian sport. I'm not talking about football, Nigerian sport.
Generally.
Let people that are interested come and bring in their money, and you see the return on investment. You see them going to the Nigerian Stock Exchange. You see them doing IPO.
Well,
that's what we need.
From all we've been seeing right now, it's obvious that we really need to look at the economic side of running sport in Nigeria. Talking about the ROI, there are a lot of activities that sport can really get Nigeria into. Talking about money, development, and also facility management. Aside that, whatever you study, like I always advocate, you can use it to work in the sports sector. And we just have to see sport as business. It's high time both local, state, and also federal. In fact, individuals, corporate bodies, it's high time that we really look into sport, not just as a tool to either campaign or use as fun. We can turn into big business when it comes to economic issues there. Now, we quickly move away from there. Let's talk about the FA Cup third round that will be coming up between Manchester United and Everton at Old Trafford. What will be happening with Lampard be able to, actually yesterday he said he's still in charge at Kudus Park, but this is not Kudus Park, this is, this is Old Trafford. If he's in charge in Kudus Park, he's coming to Old Trafford. Can he beat Man United in this third round FA Cup?
Okay, and if you look at the Man United we have now, it's different from the Man United we had before the World Cup. Since after the World Cup, I don't know what happened. Probably pep talk. Probably they are self-motivated, or what have you? They have been doing very, very well.
They got at least a handout from Argentina.
Is that what?
They got a handout from Argentina.
From Argentina, yes. Okay. I hope it won't enter Saudi Arabia and very soon. They've played about their last 4-5 matches. They've scored 9 goals and they are yet to concede a goal. So that shows that they are really doing very well, both defensively and attacking wise. And Everton, sincerely, it will be a tough match because when you're playing derby, you can't really say what will happen. But I don't see the current Everton beating the current Manchester United that we have right now. I'll give it to Manchester United, even though I may not be happy about it because of the way they are happy about what happened to Chelsea yesterday. But it is what it is. You say the truth, I'll give it to Manchester United.
It is what it is when it comes to sport. At least one team must win. So Everton versus Manchester United at the Kudus Park. Who will actually win this the third round of FA Cup between the two teams? Will it be Lampard against Erik ten Hag? We'll wait to see tonight. By the time that game will be coming up between the two clubs there. Quickly, let's look at some matches that will be coming up also. We talk about La Liga fixtures. Let's look at those games. Just 2 matches in La Liga. Elche away to, rather at home against Celta de Vigo, while Cadiz will be away to the Mestalla Stadium, where Valencia will be at home against Cadiz. These are the 2 matches meant for Spanish La Liga.
One thing about Spanish La Liga is you can't really predict what will happen, and the tempo of the matches right now in all the leagues now are quite different from what happened before they went on this World Cup break. To some teams, it's like they are just starting their season now. They are trying to make up for what has happened. Some are looking at it like, oh, this is our half season. Let's try and make it up. So definitely it's going to be a very interesting match to watch, but it's going to be a 50-50. So
far, La Liga, if you check it, Barcelona, Real, they are on the same point. Yeah. And when they are on par, the 2 clubs, it's always a do or die after to the end, because we've seen situations whereby just a point separate the 2. We've seen the last match calculation. We've seen where they have to, in fact, begin to look at what if both of them end the same point with the same point. Okay, they will now use cumulative ratio to see who wins this particular league. But right now they have the same point. Who do you see so far among the 2?
Okay, experience will come in, and the experience of Carlos Ancelotti will play a better part. Is a coach that it's not always under pressure. You see him always very calm. That's why some people call him gentle giant. So I think I'll give it to Real Madrid. Yeah, it will be very close. However, and they still have one El Clasico to play, and that is what will be the tug of war.
The decider.
That will be the decider, because the way the La Liga is structured is when you tie. Also, they'll look at the 2 teams. They'll look at when 2 teams met, when they played, who got the better point. That will now determine who will win the league. That is if they have they tie on the same point. But I don't see them tying on the same point. The difference between your tongue touching your nose, it's always very
Tiny.
very tiny. So that tiny space is what will make Madrid to win over
What's the way to go? I'm sure Barcelona fans will not want to agree with this because
I'm sure they won't be. They will not be agree with the. I mean, with me, and it's my own personal
opinion.
Because
they could actually ask you now that where is your Chelsea?
It's not my Chelsea. Chelsea belongs to Todd Bowley. It's not my own Chelsea. It belongs to the owner.
I saw a particular post where someone said, "Imagine Nigerian fans. Someone that has not even eaten since morning will be saying, we just bought Kukurea for 50 million pounds." In fact, what's the way to go? Well, Addison's partners there, football can just be so enticing and very, very entertaining. Where you have not even gotten the money to buy a recharge card on your phone, you'll be saying, well, we just bought a player for 50 million pounds. We are going to do that. Well, a way to make us laugh there. Quickly, let's talk about French Coupe de France. Matches will also be coming up in France, but this time around in their own cup there. They call it cup. They call it Coupe de France. Grenoble against Nimes. You have Paris FC against Valenciennes. Pau against Montpellier, and Angers will be out to show their anger against Strasbourg. You have Chartreux against PSG. PSG, they are the league leader in French League One. They will be playing against Chartreux. The name of all these clubs can be
just like we had the one we showed.
The Spanish,
the Spanish
Copa del Rey,
and I saw Ibiza. Is it the same Ibiza? They are talking about another.
The names of all these. Although I love the fact that the Coupe de France, rather the cups, the league cups always allow you to see those third tier, fourth tier, second tier teams that you've never had their name before, and it helps a lot for you to at least widen your horizon.
No, apart from that, also it's kind of an exposure, an experience to most of these players. Most of them they've been aspiring to play at Old Trafford. I recall vividly when this Nigerian goalkeeper went to Old Trafford to
Uzoho.
Uzoho.
He was so happy.
It has been his dream
to play at Old Trafford.
So when he got there, even after defeat, he was still jubilating that
he has at least finally gotten to
his dream. So that's one good thing about all these cups. It gives also most of the young and aspiring players opportunity to showcase their talents. Imagine you are playing a Ibiza team playing with Real Madrid, and a player called Adeni Yajichafe scored a hat-trick against Real Madrid. What will happen to the player?
Oh, I've been signed £100 million.
So
good morning there. Hopefully. Well, let's take the last straw. That has to do with Ajax. Ajax set £40 million for Mohammed Kudus. That's the player from Ghana. And right now, they want to see how, if Manchester United are actually coming for him, they should cough out £40 million.
Chelsea will not see a player like this. They only be going for Kukuru Kuku.
Fofana. Maybe Chelsea kind of like a French oriented or French players.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Look at Kudus, fantastic player.
If you look at Chelsea of 5, 6, 7 years ago, when they are winning almost everything that they won, how many French players do they have? So it's not about that. It's about the mentality of their sport director and their sporting department when it comes to recruitment that's having this issue. Kudus is a fantastic player, and I'm even surprised why Ajax is ready to let him go
for 40.
To me, as far as I'm concerned, I think his market value should be more than that £40 million.
Hopefully, Mohammed Kudus, fantastic player from Ghana and also for Ajax, should be higher than £40 million. Coming from Olawale Peters there, that will be it on 360 Sport. And we obviously want to wish you the best when it comes to sport here. Well, Olawale Peters, thank you very much for coming on the show.
It's my pleasure being here, Adeni.
Yes, I am Adeni Aji Shafe. Thanks for watching.